Cherie Blair and Hillary Clinton have been pictured looking like Sissy and Ada having a right old chinwag. Look at them there. Well, Cherie and Hills, you may want a good old gossip, and you've come to the right place, because here with me for the next hour are Zoe Tyler, Carol McGiffin and Denise Welsh. In the Liz Lounge today, we've got not one, not two, but three likely lads. First up is a Cockney duo you're unlikely to have imagined collaborating together. Yeah, there they are. Here to tell us about their brand new musical, EastEnders star Cliff Parisi and one half of Chaz and Dave Chaz, plus a man that needs no introduction, a style icon, a music phenomenon, our very own Boy George. OK, let's... Welcome back with Elisa Moomin, and we're here this Friday lunchtime helping to ease you into the weekend. And oh boy, have we got a guest to help you get into the mood. Joining us in a little while will be the one and only Boy George. Now, we were chatting earlier about the stars that we would love to have dropped by. Don't go anywhere, because when we're back, Boy George will be joining us and take a look at who's coming by for your pleasure. Our guest of the week is a man whose life on and off stage has captivated the public's imagination since he was first catapulted onto the music scene back in 1981. Flamboyant and outspoken, it was clear from those early days that he was always destined to become one of the world's biggest stars.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry?
We're so thrilled to have him back on the show. It's the one and only Boy George.
Terrifying today. Well, poor you.
I know.
Getting all this grief, but I'm sober, so I'll probably be your worst nightmare.
I know.
Yeah, you were.
Sober section.
She'd so tip you off the wagon if she could.
Well, if you can handle it, it's fine.
I
You
can't,
seem to handle it, you know.
Yeah, I don't
Some
do
of
it
us
as
can,
much
some
as
of us can't.
You think she can handle it? You're joking.
You all set up for work, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah, so does she. But honestly, you would think...
You've been 2 years
that
off the booze, haven't you?
2 years, 7 months.
Coping with it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Best thing I ever did.
Really?
Absolutely.
When does it get easy, though? Because I think one day I'm going to be in your shoes and I'm going to... I am going to have to give it up.
You know where I live? I was
I'm
bumping into you in Belsize Park, but yeah, I'll take you to a meeting. I'll look after you, don't worry.
Really? Do I have to go to a meeting?
Yeah. Well, if it becomes a problem...
But when you go out, because you still DJ and all that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But once you've sort of made the decision to stop, it depends where it takes you, you see.
I know. I did stop for 2 years. But the thing is, you know, when you go to like a sort of like a corporate event or something and the people go, we've sat you on a brilliant table next to Keith from Accounts, he's hilarious. And you just know that Keith will have a twirly bow tie and a Disney shirt on. And at least with 4 glasses of champagne, you can find Keith moderately funny. But sober, it's just kill me now.
Well, the thing is, when you tell people you don't drink, it freaks them out.
Yeah.
They really try to make you drink. Have one. No. Because when you start to see, when you stop and you see how it makes people behave...
It's a bit of a reality check,
oh, I'm
isn't
so
it?
glad I'm sober. I mean, I've never seen you drunk. I've only ever seen you being professional
I'll
on
stick
telly.
around.
So I'm sure you're...
You don't want to.
Hey, listen, talking of, celebrations, you've got 2 big ones coming up, your 50th birthday and the 30th anniversary
I'll be
of
50 in
Culture
8 months. So shocking.
Are you having a big bash?
Probably get forced to have one, yeah.
Yeah.
My last birthday, I kind of tried to hide and I was forced to have a party, which was actually quite sweet. But I think 50 will be...
You got to.
Yeah, I'll do something big. I don't know what, though.
Oh, well, you know, we're around.
Yeah.
Do you feel grown up, George, now, do you think?
Yes, I do. Yes, finally. I can actually
At
say that
last.
without being embarrassed, because I think previously, the idea of growing up was so hideous to me. But now, actually, I find it to be quite great.
When did it become acceptable to you, then, to think of yourself as an adult?
Probably about 2 years ago. It was quite late. I mean, it's a gradual thing. You don't just sort of wake up and go, I know what, today I'm going to be grown up. I think usually it's a series of events that kind of bring you to your senses.
Well, you had quite an eventful time.
I have, yeah, I have.
Do you mind talking about it for a little bit?
Well, it depends on what you want to know.
Well, just what it's done to you, because it's, you know, someone like you're a peacock, and you should be free to roam. And I would imagine you were quite compromised.
Well, I am
during
now.
your time
I mean, I feel
inside.
very free to roam. I'm very happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been, you know. So I think, in a way, it's all turned out for the best. Do you know what I mean? It's,
Was it an education for you in some sort of way?
Well, I think when you're going through it, you're not. You're just getting through it. You're never thinking about it. It's only in hindsight you can sort of say, oh, maybe it was quite a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I had, like, 4 months to myself. Did a lot of reading and a lot of thinking. And that, I suppose, in hindsight, was a good thing. But at the time, I didn't think it was particularly...
Have you ever done that before, though? Had you ever actually sat on your own and thought about, you know, the way you...
The last time I really had any experience like that was when I went to India for the first time. I went sort of to seek, you know, something. Yeah. I don't know what it was. and that was quite sort of cathartic, because I sort of, you know, in India at that time, you couldn't just make a phone call, you couldn't get newspapers, everything was difficult. Yeah. So it forced you either come home or you sort of sit with yourself, and that was quite a nice experience. But yeah, I think nowadays I kind of like my own company. I quite like being me now.
Well, and now that you've worked that bit out, you're throwing yourself back into a really hectic work schedule. You're going on the road with the Here and Now tour.
Yes, next year.
Headlining.
I'll be 50, yeah, so that'll be a sort of 50-year celebration.
Who else is on the tour, George?
Jimmy Somerville, I think Jason Donovan,
He hasn't been around for ages, has he? Jimmy hasn't performed here for a long
amazing.
time.
I did a thing with him about 3 weeks ago. Amazing.
Great
voice.
Still got that high
Fantastic, I know.
falsetto.
But for you, you
Fantastic.
see, I used to love reading all your interviews in Smash Hits, because you used to bitch about everyone, and now you're on the same bill as them, don't you? Just do you blush?
I don't think I've ever kind of bitched about Jimmy. He might have bitched about me. But, you know, the thing is, nowadays, you know, we're all a bit more grown up, and it's... You know, when you're 25, you think everyone's a threat. You know, you think it's all competition. And, of course, now backstage, it's so different. You know,
Purple
people
teas and early nights.
Well, maybe not that, but... but people are much friendlier because, you know, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing, you know, you don't feel like you've got anything to prove.
Yeah.
You don't have to kind of go anywhere. You're just enjoying it, and it's great. And the audiences are amazing.
And I mean, you're a massive icon. I grew up listening to you, all your music, loved it, still do, and you're still as bling, as fabulous as ever. But who would you have loved to have turned up at your school? Any
Bowie,
other?
of course. Bowie. Or Mark Bolan. Yeah. Would have been great. I actually went to a school with Jim Will Fix It. I did a similar thing, which was really funny. We sneaked in and performed, in the 80s.
Oh, you were the fix, you were the
Yeah,
the
this
surprise.
little girl had written, and so we sort of went behind the assembly curtains and appeared at 9 o'clock.
Fantastic.
It was brilliant.
George, what did you think of that recent drama that was on? Was it called Worried About the boy about
I
your
thought it
early...
looked really good. I thought Douglas was fantastic as me. I thought he was beautiful. Very complimentary. I was pleased about that. And I thought Matt Horn was great as John.
Yeah.
He really got John. It was kind of uncanny. There were some things, like my dad was Cockney, so they had my dad talking like that, you know, in the Irish accent, which is a little bit, you know, made the family laugh. Because although my dad was Irish, he spoke in a real thick Cockney accent, so that was quite funny. And my mum was turned into a bit of a sort of, you know, curlers in the hair. She weren't pleased. She was like, what are exactly? Because my mum is quite fierce, you know, my mum's quite amazing, and, you know, she was quite an important part of my life as a teenager, and she was kind of written out of it a bit. But I think she didn't mind.
I thought it was wonderful.
She didn't like the curlers, though. She was...
Do you have a blush?
Well, I've also got so much makeup on.
No, you can't see it. Like on
But
the
I
show.
do, I'm sure I do. Sure I do, you know.
I can't imagine much making you blush.
I don't know. I think if I fancy someone and they're kind of being
Are you quite coy?
flirtatious, yeah, then I can get
You get
quite...
a rash.
Do you know, I
get quite
remember I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, but we were in a nightclub in Ibiza about 6 or 7 years ago, and my then boyfriend at the time was very pretty, and he was stood there, and you came and touched him up. Right under my nose, and I thought it was so brilliant.
In
He
what
ran
way?
for the hills, it was
Oh, really?
genius, yeah.
I do
And I
apologise.
said to you, it's fine.
He's probably
See, it was
dined out on
probably
it.
drinking. do you know what I mean, although I've heard a lot of stories like that aren't true. But I
No,
guess
that one was,
I can't deny
I was
that,
sober
really.
because I'm sadly not a drinker. George, thanks for coming back.
Thank
Please
you.
don't leave it so long next time.
won't.
And best of luck with everything. And happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. Well,
Boy
next
George,
year,
everyone.
next year.
That's your lot for today, and indeed this week. Make sure you tune in next week. We've got a cracking lineup. We've got Russell Brand, Joe Brand, and the never bland Paul O'Grady. Have a great weekend.